Joining me now to talk about all of this is Alan Grayson. He's a former Democratic congressman and running again in Florida, and he joins me from Orlando. So, Alan, you were in Congress when that horrible shooting happened at the Pulse nightclub. You fought for change after that, but here we are again. You've got families in anguish. You've got the kids saying, hey, adults, please, why aren't you doing something? Why aren't the adults in Congress doing something about guns?
Well, that's because the Republican Party is a wholly owned subsidiary of the NRA. And money is everything in American politics. The NRA was able to deploy $80 or $90 million to benefit Donald Trump and other Republican candidates in the last election. And they have veto power over who the Republican nominee is in virtually every election, from president down to dog catcher in the United States. That's an enormous amount of political power, and that means that they have veto power over any effort to provide safety from guns. I
mean, give us a sense, you must see this, how much pressure can they actually put on? Do they tell people what to say?
They tell people what to vote. The NRA scores basically every legislator, federal and state, in the entire country, and their scores based upon how you vote. It's a fairly transparent process, but if you don't toe the line, you see your NRA score go from an A to an F. And for a Republican, that means that your career is over.
So I want to talk now, we were learning from McClatchy and other sites that Russia may be involved with the NRA, that the FBI is now allegedly investigating whether Russia was engaged in money laundering through the NRA to help elect Donald Trump. When you heard about this investigation, what did you think? This sounds incredible.
The NRA is a very convenient money laundering operation for the Russians seeking to help the Trump campaign, because under current law, as restricted and hogtied by the U.S. Supreme Court, their donors don't have to be disclosed.
And there's this,
so it's the perfect setup for the Russians.
There's this amazing character in the middle of all this, reading about this man. His name is Alexander Torshin. He's deputy director of the Russian Central Bank. It's kind of like the Bank of Canada, only it's run by Vladimir Putin. He is also reportedly wanted by Spanish authorities, almost as a mobster, allegedly a godfather and money laundering schemes. And he's also a member of the NRA, and he attends all these fancy galas at the NRA. I mean, is this for real? Like, what on earth is going on there?
Well, what on earth is going on is that Putin personally decided that the last thing he wanted in his life was Hillary Clinton as president of the United States. So he pressed every button and pulled every lever that he could find to prevent that from happening.
But what is the interest in guns? And wouldn't that be, it's illegal if it is foreign funds coming through Russia, through the NRA to Trump. So if it happened, what does that mean? What happens next?
Oh, what happens next is that they have to be tracked down and indicted, and hopefully there'll be more to come, because it is in fact illegal to have foreign money sloshing around in the United States for the benefit of a foreign power, to put the tools, the political tools of that foreign power in power here in the United States.
Could this end in the end of the NRA?
Well, that remains to be seen. I mean, you know, the NRA as an organization has an inexhaustible supply of zealots who continue to want to perpetuate the system that we have in the United States.
So another massacre this past week. Do you see change? Do you see, like, people are angry? Do you see change coming? You
know, for every step that we see that I might try to take in the right direction, we see the NRA pushing all the time to try to make it easier for people to get guns, whether they're good souls or bad.
So much to watch for here. Thank you very much. Alan Grayson, thank you.
Thank you, too.
Alan Grayson joins us from Orlando, Florida.